दोस्तों एवरीवन कैन ट्रैवल बाय नेचर चैनल में आपका स्वागत है। आप देख लीजिए लंदन।
Shared one, and it wasn't that bad. I went from the city, it was about 20 quid, 15, 20 quid. Yeah. But I've done Black Cab, and that was like what Blackfriars in the club to Putney, and that was like 45, 50 quid.
I do like Black Cab. I don't know some competition around the way.
I mean, I went with that shared one. I went, it was really funny. I remember it to this day. It was some years ago now. When Uber was first going, so it was about 4 or 5 years ago, probably pre-lockdown. And they picked up 3 separate people, so me and 2 others. So there was this really old and posh woman. There was me, who come from the club in Blackfriars, or whatever it was. And then there was this Rastafarian. And we were all going in the same direction. The Rastafarian was ending up going to Hammersmith. They were dropping me at Putney, and she was going to, I think she was going to Barnes or Richmond. But the reality is, it was so funny because there were those 3 different kinds of people you could ever meet in your life, all getting on okay in this Uber cab. So it was really odd. I mean, this was a real proper Barnes type, posh type. Yeah, she would have been about 65 at the time. Real sort of very posh voice. And she beat to some. I think she'd been to the Royal Opera House or something like that. And then there was this Rasta who'd come up, who was as high as a pint and been smoking. And they were getting on like a song with me in the front. And I just thought how surreal it was. They were talking about the talents of Bob Marley, I think, or something like that. Yeah. And she was saying, yes, my husband and I always liked Bob Marley. He said, oh, yes, man.
Mais parce que d'heure il est bas, c'est bénéfique.
It was really odd. It was.
Ouais, j'avoue. Bah vas-y, pense. Ce sera au moins un truc pas cher. J'avoue. C'est vrai. Ouais, c'est juste. T'aimes, mais pas.
J'aime bien de temps en temps. En fait, j'ai tellement mes habitudes, j'ai tellement mon cercle et tout machin.
C'est dur, hein, je pense. Après, tu rencontres d'autres personnes ici, quoi.
Ouais.
Ça reste trop cher.
Non mais franchement, on n'a rien fait de ouf. L'argent qu'on a dépensé déjà, on sent rien de ouf.
It always reminds me of Fab. You ever watched that? Yeah. They were always at Harley Hicks. I used to like the grandmother in it. Well, the grandmother?
No,
Oh, okay. Only posh birds.
No, yeah, she was actually quite pretty, wasn't she?
She was.
Back then.
There's 2 lines in there that I found really funny. The one with the old granny, when Adina, which was the one that was the main protagonist in it, was turning around. She was trying to lose weight, and she was talking about being on a diet. She turned around and she said, "You don't understand." She said, "Do you not understand?" She said, "Inside me," she said, "there's a thin person trying to get out." And the mother turned around and said, "Only the one, dear." And there was a thing with Patsy that her sister came to say, and it was Patsy's younger sister who came to say, and she said, so Patsy said, "Oh, I can't remember what the woman's name was, Mary or something." She said, "You'll come out clubbing with us. We're going to go down the way. We're going to go to this club and that club." She said, "No, I'm too tired, darling. I'm too tired." And she said, "No, you can come clubbing. We'll be out till 3. We'll be sniffing coke and all the other things." And she said, "Patsy, I'm 75. I'm too old." And she said,
14.
But you're the younger sister. what does that make me?
She was really good in that show.
They were both very good.
C'est une fun de jouer avec lui aussi.
Il a tenté.
It's because they really like that.
You're very strange in the sense of the word. You are very strange. In the sense of the word that you like all these things that are waiting for your time.
Yeah.
So where did you see these things?
I just grew up with it, and obviously I liked
When
it.
you say grow up with it, were your dad watching it or your grandparents?
My dad would watch it, my mum would watch it, my
Yeah.
dad would. And I liked it. My brothers like it, but they don't
Yeah.
like it as much as me.
Yeah.
Par contre,
I just
hyper
naturally
gênant.
like all the
J'ai vu une
stuff.
story,
like
là,
the
c'est de-
George George Best,
Est-ce que
Harry
tu
John,
l'as
and Pele. That is
Yes.
my
Bah, du coup, j'ai checké les
Okay.
viewers.
And
Il y a
the
deux
films
mecs
would
de
be
chez.
the same.
Films are the same, music is the same, everything.
Yeah.
Ouais,
I've
c'est
got
un peu.
control of other stuff now. I listen to a lot of
Yeah, yeah,
Mais ça
I
fait
was
la.
like,
But a lot of it
Ouais,
would
c'est grave.
be it would be stuff that your parents
And then-
and indeed grandparents like.
yeah,
presumably.
and then I would do
C'est
my
marrant
own research.
qu'il t'ait
Yeah.
It's the
c'est
same
dans le
with the
public
techno
pour ça.
stuff. You know, my uncle
Yeah.
auntie showed me that.
Yeah.
I need a bit.
Mais c'est
Yeah.
bien,
Now
c'est
I'm
dans
doing
le public.
research. I'm like, yeah,
Ouais,
it's
ouais,
not an
c'est vrai.
obsession.
C'est que
Yeah.
j'aime
It's
pas.
an ADHD.
On n'a pas menti.
Once you get fixated with something, it
Yeah.
becomes an obsession.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like the George Michael.
Yeah.
All that. I've had all from where I've had phases.
Yeah.
The music thing.
Where something becomes an
Yeah,
obsession.
the music thing has lasted since I was 16, but it's,
Yeah.
either a band.
But you
or
haven't
an
dropped
artist.
these obsessions, and do you still love George Michael?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And it just moves on from another.
Yeah. Then you move on to the next
Yeah.
obsession.
It's like when I was younger, it was like Bob the Builder.
Yeah.
Things like that, with dinosaurs,
Yeah.
the pirates, and
Yeah.
cowboys. I still like.
Yeah. And cowboys as well.
Yeah.
Enfin, les livres.
So do you watch some cowboy
I love
films?
westerns.
Yeah, I love this. Absolutely
my
love
accent,
this. I mean,
Yeah.
my favourite
ouais?
is probably James
Ah ouais,
Stewart.
j'avoue ça.
Or
On a dit, il y a ça, j'ai
So that's
I
probably
watch more than
earlier.
so, yeah,
Yours is more.
I watch Gary Cooper.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
Clint
like John
Eastwood.
Wayne.
You like
I love Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood's my man. I love it.
Yeah.
J'ai pas vu en Chine. En Chine, ils galèrent, les pauvres, les.
I don't like John Wayne. I find him very wooden.
Yeah, he is quite
Faut
good.
pas en moto,
He does exactly the script, but he's
Il y a les deux, mais c'est genre, c'est tellement pas cher en fait, ils
Yeah.
doivent tellement galérer à vivre.
Well, it's the same character in every role. Doesn't make any difference whether he's a sailor or a cowboy. He's the same
John
job.
Wayne,
C'est comme les taxis.
James Stewart, I think he's very good. Gregory Peck, I thought was very good in
Que
that.
des taxis, je peux
Yeah,
un seul
Gary
métro.
King was very good. Did you ever see Gregory Peck in?
Vraiment, c'est pas cher.
C'est vestier, non?
Ouais, c'est incroyable.
What's it called? Big
Après, la Chine,
Country.
c'est trop bien.
No, is that what
It's really good.
Après, j'ai pas
So
trouvé le
Richard,
reste.
another boyfriend I had, he also liked all the Western
Yeah.
as well. He
like
just
that.
loved
Oui,
that
pour la peine, parce
film.
que
And he said
quand
he
il
was
gagne
just
la-
like
Sure,
him.
man.
No, he already had watched it. He said that guy always reminds me of you. And I said, well, I'm nothing like him. But he said, no. Just mentally reminds me of you, not physically. He said that's just you all over. That low-key approach, but that determination. And everybody else is running around with bravado, and you're just going to plow your course, and you're not
Tous
going
les
to be affected
supermarchés,
by what's going
l'île
on
de
around
Sal, tout du moins,
you.
peut-être pas les autres îles. C'est géré par des Chinois.
Ouais, ça me fait peur.
I would
Et
recommend that
genre,
one.
ces
Yeah.
bâtards,
It's
ils
cool.
montent
And
de
it was a
ouf
very
et
famous
puis,
one at the
et du coup,
time.
tout le monde
I
galère.
think it was Sam
Genre même pour boire
Peckinpah
le
was the
restaurant, des
director,
bâtards.
I think, was a big
Et
famous.
genre, ils te baissent, ils te mettent pas les prix.
Yeah.
Après, il faut leur truc sur la calculatrice, ils te montrent
So
en
you just
mode.
look at that.
Ouais, ouais. Et après,
Definitely,
tu
it's a
réfléchis,
very
tu
long
te dis, putain, ils m'ont bien baisé,
film.
c'est
It's
bon.
not a short film.
Et il y a notre pote là, Ruben, qu'on s'est fait, il nous a dit. En vrai,
Yeah.
eux, tu les vois jamais sur la plage. Tu les vois que dans le supermarché, genre, ils se mélangent pas, genre, c'est incroyable. Et il a dit, ouais, en fait,
No, I would definitely recommend Big
ils sont
Country.
dégoûtés parce que c'est quand ils font des trucs mauvais ou quoi,
Yeah.
genre en Chine, pour les
It's very
punir,
good because
leur
it can be,
famille, ils
you
les
know,
envoient
as
ici,
I
genre.
said, Gregory Peck in
Et du coup,
there.
c'est que les punis, miskin.
Someone's trying to provoke him, and
Mais
he
il se
will not
mélange
allow
pas,
himself
c'est
to
hyper
get
triste en
provoked.
vrai.
And it's so
De toute façon,
clever the way it's
je pense pas
done.
de base.
There's a lot of
Mais là,
like
c'est
honour in
abusé, genre,
there
ils
as
sont
well.
pas dans
Even
putain
the
de
crooks.
supermarché, quoi.
There's a crook in there,
Mais du coup, ils
but
sont
he's
punis,
very
genre,
honourable.
pendant
But
1 ou
his
2 ans,
son
ils
is a
viennent là et
crook, and
après ils
he's a
rentrent.
cowardly
Il y a
weasel
un petit roulement.
who's got no honour, if that makes sense. And it's the contrasting between being a crook but having an honour-based system
Ça me
and
donne
being an absolute crook that's got no
pays
honour.
d'Afrique,
And it's basically a sniveling rat.
qui sont suivis soit par les Libanais, soit par les Chinois.
Ouais, mais moi, j'avais jamais vu ça.
J'ai jamais vu des.
That's a more
Je
recent
sais plus
one.
dans quel pays, mais des
Yeah.
gonzesses qu'on met
Yeah.
les Chinois et en train de les savater et
Ah
tout.
non, mais les Libanais ça m'étonne pas. Genre,
Oui,
tu vois.
Libanais.
Mais les Chinois, je te jure, j'avais jamais vu ça en mode. Comment ils ont fait pour
There is one
atterrir
John
ici,
Wayne
genre.
film where I thought he was
Bah,
good
voilà.
in, and it was one of the last ones that he ever made when he was really old and dying of cancer.
Mais moi j'ai
And
déjà vu
that
des
was, I
vidéos
think
genre
it
des
was
mecs
called
des
Cowboys or the Cowboys,
Chinois en train de
and it was where he took a bunch of young, he was trying to do a wagon train,
Et après
and he
genre ils se
couldn't get
rebellent et tout
anybody
machin.
staff-wise, and he ended up taking on a bunch of kids, like 12, 14, 15-year-old boys, and then they kept being attacked by this gang of rustlers. And like my mum hated John Wayne, Dad loved John Wayne, but Mum couldn't stand him. And she said it's the only good film John Wayne ever
J'ai
made, and it
l'impression
was the
là,
very
le mec
last
a
one he made. It was like 80.
ça commence à
But it is a
j'ai
good
une
film,
passion
and I
sur ça.
definitely he comes across
C'est
as
de
a much
regarder
more
les
nuanced
vidéos, il y a
character
des
in it.
Américains là, ils
It
font
isn't
des...
just this wooden.
chasse
Yeah,
expédition.
if you watch him in True Grit, he's only wooden.
Mais
Yeah.
non.
I mean, Sylvester True Grit.
Mais
They
vraiment, mais j'ai
remade
des
it,
vidéos,
Jeff
mais genre
Bridges
des
plays
vidéos
his
de lumière.
character.
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges plays
En gros, ils leur donnent rendez-vous dans
Jeff
les
Bridges is a good actor.
It's really good, yeah.
Après, ils viennent, ils les savatent. Et genre, mais genre,
Ils
en
sont
mode-
malades.
Mais c'est pas que genre, ils juste ils les frappent. C'est pas très drôle, tu vois. Mais genre en mode, par exemple,
Yeah.
je sais pas comment il y en avait un.
Ask them if they know
s'est fait
Florette.
attraper.
Okay.
Un mec qui était un peu
J'aime.
frêle, tu vois, un peu maigrichon et tout. Il y a un mec, il le
Fake
prend,
Fritz sausages and
il
geese.
le lance en l'air, et l'autre il lui met un coup de poing dans les airs. Et je dis, mais wesh, mais c'est
Mais qui fait
incroyable.
ça?
Yeah, it's nice that he
Il
makes
faut
it.
voir,
He does make it
Vraiment
for you, doesn't he? Which is really nice.
Yeah, it's nice to have that chase.
Purée,
But
raconte quoi?
Et moi je
it
pense
doesn't feel like a chore.
No,
Yeah.
but you feel like he's reciprocating, don't
Yeah.
you? He wants to speak to you as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Bon, après,
En fait, le mec, tu vois, au début, ils viennent. Au début, en gros, au début, ils viennent à la rencontre. En mode, ouais,
You never get me that
je sais pas, je viens un petit
option.
truc. Ouais, bah alors,
Yeah, it's nice.
tu as des enfants et tout, là, puis après les mecs ils essaient
Yeah,
généralement
well, I did as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
tu vois, de s'excuser ou alors de se justifier et tout.
Ah.
Et après les mecs qui crient dans le magasin pour ouais, il est là pour rencontrer un petit garçon de 13 ans, mais genre il l'affiche de ouf et tout. Et du coup généralement les mecs ils partent et tout.
Là, il se.
Et en gros ils se font soit pousser, voilà, soit taper, soit...
You did? Yeah, you sent
peu
him.
molestés ou quoi.
You were walking, weren't you?
Yeah, from a nightclub.
For a nightclub.
N'importe quoi. J'avais jamais vu ça.
Alors franchement,
Ouais, c'est
I
dommage.
suppose
mon
my
Insta,
target
il est un
time
peu...
must have been good.
Quand je posé avec So,
Is that your
mon Insta
dad?
il est sombre et
I
tout.
said it to my dad
Je dis
in the
n'importe
group
quoi et
chat
tout.
I have with my brother.
Genre, j'ai mis des pubs.
That's got to be a film set.
J'ai mis des pubs genre...